Hey everyone, and how are you going today? I'm going to come in and do a quick little chat on. I've had a few people asking me about how to break through old limitations at a place where they just had enough of those limitations or those old thoughts popping into their head and just basically reached a point where they've just had a guts full of it. Hey Donna Marie, how's Sophie? How are you, gorgeous people? So I wanted to come in and just share this little bit of information with you. Seeing it's at such a pivotal time, and I've been talking the last week on the weekly energy forecast about the importance of affirmations and how we get to reshape our reality through our thought processes. So hey Nancy, how are you, gorgeous? So today I wanted to talk about this because I feel like we're at this amazing portal. We're about to break through really great things, yet if we've got that old stuff coming up, we get stuck, and therefore we don't get to have the awesomeness of being able to break through some of those old limitations and just feel like we go round and round in circle. It's so awesome to have you here too, Donna Marie. Thank you. Hey Rick, hey Larissa, hey Ebony. So I'd love to hear if this is connecting with you, if you're like finding it a real challenge to break through some of the old, either old ways, old habits, old thoughts, old beliefs, and yet so desperately want to be able to find a way to be able to move through this and shift into that space that you know that your soul is revealing to you. So we have all of these times and places. I'm going to talk a little bit about psychology, how our mind operates, and then I'm going to go in and be able to share about the energetic things that occur around breakthroughs and limitations. So if you consider that your mind is like a computer, any information you put into it, it stores it and it files it, just like Google. You type into Google, ask a question, or go find the answer. Well, our brain is exactly the same. The moment that we put information into our head at any time of our life, it will store that information. And the more times that you access that information, the more it starts to build this neural pathway. So like a cord or a thread connecting to that. And that thought invokes a feeling, an emotion. And that emotion, that whatever is triggered, will determine your outcome. So say, for example, you feel like you are not worthy of something, you're going to feel heavy. You'll probably feel depressed. You'll feel flat. You'll feel deflated. You'll feel like giving up and things are not worth it. So therefore, your outcome is going to be you're not even going to try. So just let me know if this is connecting with you. That'd be awesome. So our brain operates on this way on a psychological level. On an energetic forefront, that worthiness creates an energy frequency. The feeling that is invoked from it embeds that feeling into our physiology, into our physical body, and it records and stores that so that it knows that the moment that feeling comes up in our body again, it knows it directly links to that feeling of not deserving something. And therefore, that prevents us from being able to move forward. Because we don't want to take action. If you're feeling really crap, guess what? You're not going to want to take the action. Or even if you do, you're not invested in it. You don't believe in it. You're just going through the actions just like a robot. So even though you may go through the action, you may find you're not going to get the result that you want because the energy that you bring to it is already at a defeatist, at already giving up, that it's not worth it. Yet we as humans, we push. We push to keep going because we're always taught that action is the most important thing that we need to take. And it does. But it depends on the energy that you bring to the action. So this is how we get to be able to break through these old limitations, is to consider that we don't want to fight with the old, because that old information that is being stored in your mind has been there for a very long, long time. If you have feelings around not feeling good enough, that you're not worthy, that you don't deserve things, that you have a scarcity mindset, guess what? Those thoughts will have been there for a very long time. Most of the time we just think, well, if we just start saying some positive things, that's going to change it immediately. It takes time. to recorrect that stored information that is sitting in our mind. But what happens is with the human part is that we go into a state of conflict. We will go in and argue. We will go in and fight. And we have like these little internal fights going on within our own self, and nothing gets resolved, because at the end of the day, that thought, your energy, and the fight that goes on internally within your own self, you still end up at exactly the same spot, which is no movement forward. Hey, Jean-Marie. Hey, Nancy Perez. Hey, Alice. Hey, Bobby. How are you, love? So I want to come in and share with you some really simple tips on how to be able to shift through the old, in understanding that from a physiological point, your physical body, and from a psychology point, there is a science along with an energetic connection. So science and energy comes together almost like quantum energy. There takes a mesh of both of these to work cohesively to create change, not just one or just the other. We need both of them to work in a more harmonious state in order to create the change. So reverse engineering, we want this really great awesome of breaking through these limitations. So what's it going to require? It's going to require a different thought, because that new thought is going to create a new feeling. And it's through the consistency and taking actions that align with the new thought and feeling that's going to create the change, without the internal fight, without the resistance, without allowing yourself to buy back into that old feeling and emotion, because our feelings and our emotions will be what gauges the outcome. So we want to really focus in through the feeling on how to generate a completely new feeling on a physiological response, and also on a psychology point. And this is where the power of affirmations come in. Most people think if we just say an affirmation, that's all we need to do, and that's going to change things. And that's completely incorrect. We need to be able to make sure that the words that we're saying, because words have the power to create change, the words we use, the language we choose, creates a vibration within our physical body, which creates that new energy, that new emotion, that new feeling that generates the action that we take. So it's not just about just going through and saying an affirmation. It's about feeling into the words that you say. So say, for example, if you go from feeling that you are unworthy and haven't deserved anything, for you to be able to move into a space, and this is where we're going to use the psychology part. Our brain is designed so that when we give it information, it must go find evidence. So what we've done is your mind, when you've thought about, and I'm not going to call it a negative thought, I'm going to call it an unresourceful thought. When you've had an unresourceful thought, your brain has gone and collected evidence all the time to say, yeah, you're not worthy because you give up, you don't follow anything through, you do a lot of talk, but you don't take any action, you do all this talk, but you don't do anything different. So your brain goes and finds all those experiences where you've done that to confirm that you are unworthy. So now what we want to do is we want to use that same philosophy and say, okay, I am worthy. And this is where we sit for just a moment and retrace back through our memory at a time where you felt worthy. Where were you at? Who were you with? What were you doing? What was your mindset? So that it engages that same feeling in your body, which is generating that feeling of worthiness. And through that, that will generate the next time that there is an opportunity where someone disrespects you, or you want to create new standards and new boundaries, you are going to have that backing of this new feeling to go, I am worthy and I deserve this. So we need to be able to first understand, hey, Amy, how are you, gorgeous? That the affirmations that we create is about creating and collecting evidence. So if you think of like moving outside of scarcity mindset, I am abundant, and then all of a sudden you're seeing 5-cent pieces, all of a sudden there's more money that's put into your bank, you've just got your tax return, you can go to the shop and buy what you would like. You want to retrace all of those memories back in your bank, in your mind. Remember, storing new data, collecting data. We want to be able to collect that data for that information to process a feeling. And then when you think that you were abundant and you had money flowing in, how does it make you feel? It's the sense of freedom. It gives you different choices. It makes you feel more relaxed and more calm, and that you have different choices and there are different pathways that you can take when you are abundantly supplied for. That's on the action steps, but on an emotional, energetic level, it's about understanding that you are in this beautiful space of allowing yourself to be receptive, that you felt worthy, that you were open to receive. And so therefore you created this new channel, and therefore you'll find that most people, when they have that direct connection, they are not going to go waste that abundance. They're not going to go and frivolously just buy things just because all of a sudden they've got money, because at the end of the day, if you were to do that, you're still using a scarcity mindset. So this is how we create massive change to break through our limitations, is through understanding the power of words. Hey Kate, hey Candy, being able to understand that affirmations on their own is not the whole equation to be able to break through. It's about having that affirmation, collecting evidence that supports that new affirmation, allowing it to invoke a feeling, and then taking steps that align with that on a mind, body, soul, and spiritual and energetic level. If you are open to be abundant, you're not going to be freaking out every time a bill comes in. You're not going to be feeling the need that you're not going to be supported or anything like that. You're going to stay in this open channel. But what's going to take its time is it's going to take time for you, because you need to bring this back into a conscious awareness. Every time those old thoughts come up, or you want to because going through affirmations, it's not about just doing it once. It's about doing it over and over and over and over again, because guess what? It's not only going to make your mind feel amazing, but you're invoking a new feeling. So you want to get used to this new feeling. You want to feel like it's putting on that amazing outfit that just makes you radiate and glow. So you want to keep saying these things over and over again, because to generate new feelings, those feelings create a new energetic frequency. Then we start seeing things showing up, because we're becoming a magnet to attract it into our world. But the first step is that we need to be in a conscious state of awareness. Be conscious of your thoughts. Choose the thoughts that you want, but then be a match for the change that you really want to see happen in your world. And it's about the consistency of doing affirmations that make the difference. I always used to like the analogy of if all of a sudden you decided that you wanted to lose 10 kilos, then you wouldn't be able to just go to the gym once and once only and think you'd wake up tomorrow morning, you'd have that gorgeous body that's lost the 10 kilos, with rockin' abs and just loving life. You are going to have to go consistently all the time to the gym to do those exercises, even on those days that you don't want to do it. And it is through the consistency of going to the gym and doing the workout and reprogramming your mind that you can do this, that you've got this, that you're working towards the bigger picture. How is it going to make you feel when you lose that 10 kilos? Noticing every tiny little single thing that changes within you along the way to get those 10 kilos. And then it's the awesomeness at when you've actually achieved it. So it's never about affirmations, feeling, get instant results. Sometimes you do, and that's wicked. But it's about the consistency of doing it, and therefore we start attracting those awesome things into our world. But this is the importance of what we can do to be able to move through our limitations, because guess what? We're always going to have them. While we are here as humans, we're always going to have these limitations. We're always going to have these unresourceful, uncool feelings and thoughts pop into us. But it's whether we choose to continue to keep believing in them, keep choosing to just let them just run like an old program in the back of your mind, or whether you've actually reached that pivotal point where you go, well, enough is enough and the shit is just an old broken record and I want to change that record. And this is where the consistency comes in, and it's the practicing. And it's not a matter of finding times to do this. I do this when I take my dogs for a walk, when I'm having a shower, when I'm working, when I'm having a coffee, driving in my car down the road, cooking dinner. Don't find time. Use the time that you are, and instead of your mind just like running around like a badly behaved toddler, train it to do something constructive that is about rebuilding the new. And it all begins with the things that we do within, the internal dialogue that we have with ourselves, the conversations that we have with ourselves, where we don't fight with ourselves, but we come to a point where we go, enough is enough, and I want more. And as humans, we're designed for more. And why not have more feelings and thoughts and emotions and experiences that resonate with the version that you want to be? So it's going to take that time of hard work, but the work is worth it. You're worth it. The investment of your return is going to be profound when you can move through those old limitations. And you'll know that because all of a sudden something will come up that will make you feel like you're unworthy, and all of a sudden the beautiful breakthrough moment that you know that you have actually broken through that limitation will be when you are no longer emotionally triggered by it. So watch for those little cues, because they're beautiful indicators to say you've done the hard work. Now we're over the other side. You're no longer emotionally triggered or activated by that thought anymore. It's just there, but I don't have to buy into it. And the refocus goes in this direction. So this is how we create amazing change. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Jenny. So I really hope that this is all giving you something really powerful to go away with and think about and start implementing. Start looking at affirmations. Go through, just type into Google and type affirmations. Look for affirmations of things that are affecting you right now. So if you're feeling like you're not confident, go in and Google affirmations on confidence. If you're lacking trust, have a look at affirmations that are about trust. And this is where we understand that there is always going to be this evolution, because you'll start working on this confidence. Then all of a sudden something else may pop up. That's cool. Go and find the resource that you need to match the breakthrough that you want to have in your thought processes. And therefore you go and just Google and find them. The awesome thing that I always say to my students is go in and record them on a video, on your phone. Record those affirmations that you want to hear on a consistent basis on your phone. Put your earbuds in, bang, you've got those affirmations there. But when you say the words, allow the feeling to come through in your words, because as we know, it's not the words that usually hurt or harm, it's the intention, the energy that someone or something has said to us that makes it hurt the most. So when you're saying I am awesome, don't just go I am awesome like a robot. You want to go I am awesome. You don't have to give a shit what anyone else is going to say. This is about rebuilding the new version of you. And if you really want to break through those limitations, you're going to do what you need to do to get the results. And this is how you get them. Invoke the emotions and the feelings behind the words, because it's the emotions and the feelings that dictate the outcome and the result that you get. So put the investment in. You're worth it. And this is how we create beautiful, rapid change. And you know what? If you start feeling amazing, how can that be not worth it? So take care. Much love. Please feel free to share this. And as always, be good, be kind to yourself. But always remember that you deserve and you are worth more. Take care, everyone.